Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one in store between the Memphis Hounds and the Portland Snowhawks. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Memphis Hounds and the Portland Snowhawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at this Portland team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visiting Memphis ball club, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a 1st down carry by Bell. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Well, look now at our starting defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him. On 2nd down, Wilson. It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Over the middle. That's caught by Miller. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that was a nice catch, and if the goal was to get into field goal range, it certainly appears that they accomplished that.
Well, and sometimes that's what you dial up in these situations, right, when you want 3?
Well, if the goal was to get into field goal territory, even though it'll be a long attempt, I think they accomplished that.
And sometimes you have plays for that. It's not always a 1st down when you want 3. Get a little bit closer, make it an easier shot.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to concede to the defense, and they know what you're trying to get done, and to try and get any more than that is almost folly. Take what you can get, maybe have an opportunity to put 3 points on the board.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
This is Gordon. He finds an opening past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. 1st down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go back to Gordon here on 1st down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the 1st quarter. It's a 3-point game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Memphis with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Back to throw. McCarthy. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the 1st round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now a handoff. This is Gordon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
To throw on second down. McCarthy. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was trying to hit Melvin Gordon there. And now it's third down.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down.
Let's go.
Operating from the gun. McCarthy into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Defense.
Trying to defend the out route there. Got the PI call.
And you know what's difficult about that one is sometimes you want to make the undercut move and go for the football, and other times just want to hang on the upfield shoulder and make the tackle. I think he got caught in between and created a foul.
On first down, McCarthy. He sets to fire deep. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
No, check, Patriot, Patriot. No, check, Patriot.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave them with third and still 7 yards to go. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Looking to throw. McCarthy. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Wilson on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
this offense ready to head back out there. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Off the bootleg. McCarthy hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing on 3rd and long. McCarthy. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Pulled in at the 24. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here now the offense heading back out there. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. From the gun, McCarthy is going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. This offense so far on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Gordon. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are out in front in that one. Josh Rosen has a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it second down.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
51 yards on the punt there. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop it, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL. But that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Fielded at the 20. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And now back out comes the offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And this is incomplete. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to the air on 2nd down. McCarthy, and he fires one incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. They'll run it now out of the gun. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And we're into the 2nd half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off. This will be fielded at the 17. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw. McCarthy is going to fire one deep over. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in the Rose City of Portland, Oregon. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Wilson. On the right side, this is Miller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That goes for a gain of 31. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them. I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
On 3rd down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And this one is right through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Now this offense about ready to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McCarthy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
Watch him now, Barney.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the call there, because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. Now defensively here, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And his kick here is good. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. big kick right there to give them the lead in the fourth, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So with that knee, 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you watch that spot, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium, that certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You loved the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.
So for the home team here, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Houston Texans next week. Meanwhile, for Memphis, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.